Conversion tracking is pretty boring. It's very technical. You don't immediately see sort of the results of your work, but it's one of the most important things that you can do inside of Google Ads in 2025. And in this video, I want to give you a good overview on how conversion tracking actually works, what is important to look at, what the differences between different conversion types are, and much, much more, so that you know after watching this video what you need to do to get the perfect conversion tracking setup in your system. Now, this is not a technical video in terms of what you have to do inside of Shopify or inside of WooCommerce or whatever shop system or website management system you're actually using, but more a sort of strategic guide on what is important when it comes to conversion tracking in the first place, how to boost performance with it, and much, much more. So with all that being said, I'm here in the conversion overview tab or the conversion summary tab of one of our Google Ads clients, selling physical products, right? E-commerce. And over the past 30 days, you can see here, we made around about $152,000 in revenue, 533 conversions. It's a fairly high ticket product. And the first thing that is very important here to know is that there are primary and secondary conversions, okay? So at this point in time, I think many businesses know about it, but I see businesses making a mistake here literally all the time. And that is, your primary conversions are basically the conversions that Google is first of all optimizing for and that you see when you're actually in your conversion overview, right? So when you are in your campaign overview and you are looking at conversions, then this is what you will see. Those conversions are the ones that will be set as conversions, whereas the other ones here, the secondary ones, are only in the all conversions tab. And as you can see here, we have multiple transaction conversions, right? But the other ones were, outdated ones. The other ones we still occasionally use to compare. So for example, here, our main website conversion that sits right like in the website itself, reported 533 conversions, whereas the Google Analytics 4 conversion tracking only reported 409. And we know that this is actually less accurate than our main conversion tracking right there for a variety of reasons, right? So this is already the next important thing right there, the conversion source. You can do it from your website, which is probably the most common thing. You can do it by just importing Google Analytics 4, GA4 data. This is also very, very common. Many businesses do that because it's quite simple. If you have analytics set up properly, you can just go ahead, right, create a new conversion action right here, and you will basically import a purchase conversion or whatever else you might have in your Google Analytics account to then track it inside of Google Ads as well. It doesn't require any additional sort of technical setup, so it's quite nice to do it that way, okay? However, overall, I prefer doing it straight on the website. It tends to be a little more accurate oftentimes, and also you can do a few more things with it. But basically, you can go with website, you can go with GA4, you can also go with API, server to server, so that they're communicating sort of in the back end. But those two are definitely, I would say, by far the most common ones. Now, let's very quickly jump back to the primary and secondary point right there. It is important that literally only your absolute main conversion, which is typically purchases, is set to primary. There are some occasional ones, like for example, call clicks from ads, that you cannot set to secondary, but it's important that especially if you're an e-commerce brand, right, that your add to carts and if you're tracking initiate checkouts, etc., all of those have to be secondary conversions. And that is extremely important because they are, as Google says here already, they are observed only and won't be used to optimize bidding and campaign performance. Now, if you optimize for everything, add to carts, checkouts, purchases, maybe even more stuff like, website visits or product views, etc., it's very misleading to Google what is actually valuable to you, especially because add to carts and checkouts, etc., normally have conversion values as well. In our case right here, they don't have conversion values. We're not using Shopify. It's a different story. But normally in your setup, right, in your specific conversion tracking setup, you will see that there will be something like 1,000 add to cart conversions worth $50,000, for example, because the value is measured in the add to cart conversion as well. So the important part here is that you're not confusing Google and that you tell Google, hey, there is one primary conversion that matters, and that's purchases. Usually you just have one purchase conversion. There are some cases where you might be tracking purchases for different products differently, or when you manage multiple sites sites in one Google Ads account of your brand, right? A UK site and a US site or something. There might be cases where you have more than one primary conversion that you're actively running traffic towards and that you actively want to manage the performance for. But normally it looks more like this, right? You have backup conversions where you just look at how things are performing and what's happening, etc., across the board. And that is very important. So next up, we can actually look inside a conversion, and there's some more stuff that I want to make sure that you're getting right. So now we are inside the actual conversion, and this is now our main, remember, primary purchase conversion. And there are a bunch of things that you see here right now. There is the conversion name, which you can put to whatever you like, right? This doesn't matter. Then you have the action optimization, purchases, and primary, as we said. And then this is also very, very important for e-commerce, dynamic values, okay? Dynamic value tracking is a bit more complex than static. So if you have static tracking, you can say, hey, everything that we sell costs like $10 with just one product, so you might as well do it statically, unless you have things like coupons and discounts and stuff like that, where the price may change based on the order, right? But 99% of e-commerce brands want different values or dynamic tracking, so that if I buy $200 worth of products from you, Google will show $200 and not just 10. We have one very new client where we spend very large amounts at the moment, around about $6,000-7,000 per day, so fairly large budgets, and he only has one product and he sells it for round about $35, okay? So here tracking is pretty simple. One action, $35, that's it, no dynamic values, no nothing. In that case, you can implement tracking very, very easily, manually by yourself. But that is, of course, something that for 99% of stores is not very practical because you want to be dynamic. Next up, we have the count. And here, if you use purchases, yes, you should stay with every conversion, right? Because if I buy 10 times, then you should track 10 conversions because all of those are valuable. However, there are many brands out there who also count secondary conversions that are not valuable if they're being repeated by the same person as every conversion. So let's talk about add to carts here, for example. If I go to your site and I put where I throw 10 products into cart, right? I go add to cart, add to cart, add to cart again and again and again. Not all of these add to cart actions are actually really valuable, right? Normally you want to be like, okay, you added something to cart, so now you're an add to cart user. But if I click the add to cart button like 20 times, that's not really valuable. Whereas if I buy 20 times for whatever random reason, well, you might be surprised and you might be, what's going on with that person, but at least all these 20 purchases are valuable. So for things like add to cart and, other, maybe also leads, right? If the same person registers as a lead, like a newsletter sign up or something, twice or 3 times, you know that something is wrong there. It doesn't really make so much sense. So for everything that doesn't involve like actual transactional value, you should switch that to only once by going into the settings here where you can change all these things, right? Then we have the click-through, engaged view, and view-through conversion windows. Honestly, they're typically not too important. You can normally leave them at the default. You can make the engaged view a bit more or less than that. I typically have like 30 days, 3 days, and 1 day. The click-through, of course, because especially when it comes to high ticket, but also products in general, someone might visit your site and you might want to convert them even later on once they have, moved to other websites and then 10 days later they come back. As long as Google can still track and match them, you might want to still have them in here. You have engaged views and view-throughs, so when someone sees your ad but didn't click it, 3 days after such an engaged view, they might still be attributed to from this conversion. So if I'm an engaged view of one of your ads, then 2 days later I come to your site, I haven't clicked the ad, but I purchased, this might be an engaged view conversion. And then we have 2 more very important things, and those are attribution and enhanced conversions. Now, attribution is how Google, attributes the conversion back to your ads. And some years ago, the default here has been last click, right? The last ad that I've clicked on got all the credit for my purchase. Nowadays, data-driven became the standard. It has been around for many years, but now it's literally the default, and I recommend it like 98% of the time, I guess, right? Where Google actually looks at all your different ads and touch points, and based on that, it calculates how important and how valuable each interaction was. So instead of the last ad getting all the credit regardless of what the purchase journey looked like, now Google looks at, okay, people interacted with your ads like 3 times, like a brand ad for the last touch point, but they previously stumbled upon your product through like a shopping campaign and then another search campaign that were cold traffic. So if the person ultimately converts with a brand from a brand campaign, is it really accurate to say that the brand campaign has been responsible for the sale? Or is it more likely that because the customer learned about your business from these first 2 campaigns in the first place, that those were probably more important, or if not as important, or at least as important as the brand campaign? And those are all things that data-driven attribution takes into consideration. So it's highly recommended that you use it, okay? And then you have enhanced conversions, where Google basically closes the gap that you have now in conversion tracking because of privacy stuff and cookies and all that stuff. With enhanced conversion, Google is able to cross-reference people that buy from you based on their email address, their names, their telephone numbers, their location, etc., and it matches them with Google users, okay? So if you have enhanced conversion enabled and properly installed, like we have right here, you will get like a tag that you can use. And enhanced conversions you can also connect via an API or other via the Google tag, right? If you have that in place, you can see anywhere from like 2-3% all the way up to maybe like 10% in increased conversions that actually happened on your site, but that wouldn't be reported to Google Ads if you didn't have enhanced conversions in place, right? Because as I said, of all these privacy things, Google isn't able to match all the purchasers unless you have enhanced conversions in place. Even then, not every single person might be sort of recorded and tracked properly, but at least there is a much higher chance that you get as many people as possible. So those are the most important points about conversion tracking, the different settings and options and variables here, right? But now as a little recap, why is it so important in the first place? Well, there are like kind of 2 to 3 reasons here, right? By far the most important one is that if you want maximum optimization, then your data needs to be as clean as possible, okay? If you only report back 90% of your conversions to Google, or 95%, or too many, 105% for example, your optimization won't be accurate. And remember, nowadays with like PMAX and the overall trend towards automation, etc., that has been going on for years, with all of that going on, Google heavily relies on super accurate data. And if your data is reported, or if your conversions are too high or too low, there will always be things that Google is optimizing for that actually didn't happen, or they happened less often in real life than what Google reports. So if you get back 100 conversions, but only 90 of them actually happened, then those additional 10 conversions Google somehow made up, right? And therefore your tracking won't be accurate because Google is optimizing for false positives, for example. But the second point is, of course, clean reporting. Like many brands, especially larger brands, might be using things like Triple Whale or Hyros, etc., to do the conversion tracking somewhere in the back end. But still, you want, of course, a clean Google Ads report where you look into your campaign view and you know, okay, last week we made, I don't know, 550 conversions worth whatever, $100,000, right? And if that's not accurate and not really in place, then your reporting will be more difficult. You have to go the extra route of, having third-party tools, which can be useful regardless, but you still want accurate data in your Google Ads account as well. So optimization, super important, and also clear and clean reporting, not as important, I would argue, but still very, very important, of course. Those are the main reasons that you want to have conversion tracking in place that is as accurate as humanly possible to get an edge over your competitors. Now, if you have an e-commerce brand that you want to take to the next level, where you hit an invisible ceiling, you don't know how to scale, maybe you have issues with conversion tracking as well, then I recommend that you check our site here, cartlift.co, where you can read more about our work. You can check case studies of brands that we're working with, reviews, testimonials, etc., from the many, many, many brands that we've been working with, tens of millions of dollars worth of ad spend. So if you want to scale, or if you want to be more profitable with your ads for your e-com brand, make sure to check the link in the description. We will talk. We will jump on an Ignite call, not one of those sales calls, but actually telling you what I think is possible with your brand and what the next steps might look like. So if that's interesting to you, make sure to check the link in the description. Please leave a like and please subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed this video. And now I really look forward to see you in the next video again. Thank you very much and bye-bye.